Most men today are at war with themselves. They wake up tired even after sleeping. Their chest is tight before they have even left the bed. Their mind is racing before the day has begun. Their body is restless without any clear reason. They reach for the phone immediately, hoping that some stream of noise will quiet the storm rising inside them. But the storm does not go away. It follows them into the morning, into work, into conversations, into the gym, into their relationships. It hides beneath every action, every decision, every moment of supposed calm. They have learned to function with it, but they have never learned to silence it. This invisible storm has a name. It is the dysregulation of the nervous system. And it is the silent disease of the modern man. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics did not have words like nervous system or cortisol or fight or flight response. But they understood the phenomenon perfectly. They knew that beneath the rational mind lives a wild, ancient mechanism that responds to the world long before reason can intervene. They knew that until a man learns to master this hidden engine, he can never truly be free. Today, I will show you how the ancient philosophers tamed this inner beast. I will show you the Stoic method for regulating the nervous system, calming the inner storm, and reclaiming the kind of internal stillness that most men have forgotten is even possible. This is not a meditation video. This is not soft healing content. This is a brutal philosophical operation on the deepest survival mechanism of the human body. If you complete this journey with me, you will never look at your own restlessness the same way again. Begin with the truth that no one in the modern world wants to admit. You are constantly activated. Your body believes it is in danger at almost all times, not because real danger surrounds you, but because your environment has trained your nervous system to be permanently on alert. Notifications, deadlines, comparisons, news, social media, endless decisions, endless inputs, endless small fires of stress that never grow large enough to register as crisis, but never disappear long enough to allow real rest. This is why you feel exhausted but cannot sleep. This is why you feel anxious but do not know what you are afraid of. This is why you feel angry at small things that should not matter. This is why you crave stimulation, even when you are already overstimulated. Your nervous system has been hijacked by a world that profits from your dysregulation. The Stoics understood that a man cannot think clearly while his body is screaming. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul takes on the color of its thoughts, but he also knew that the body shapes the soul just as deeply. When the body is in chaos, the mind cannot find order. When the breath is shallow, the thoughts become shallow. When the muscles are tense, judgment becomes tense as well. Mastery of the nervous system is therefore not a luxury. It is the foundation of all philosophical practice. Without it, every other discipline collapses. You cannot meditate while your nervous system is on fire. You cannot make rational decisions while your body believes it is under attack. You cannot build a stoic mind while your inner physiology behaves like a frightened animal. The first step is awareness. You must learn to feel the activation in your own body. Most men have been disconnected from their internal signals for so long that they no longer notice the tightness in the chest, the shallow breathing, the clenched jaw, the constant tension in the shoulders, the restless legs. These are not random sensations. These are the body whispering that the nervous system is locked in a defensive posture. Sit in silence for one moment and scan yourself. Where are you holding tension right now? Where is your breath located? Is your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders raised? Is your stomach tight? Most men are shocked when they finally look. They discover that their body has been bracing for an attack that never comes, for hours, for days, for years. The body does not know how to stop until the conscious mind teaches it. The Stoics taught that the first act of freedom is the act of observation. This applies to the body just as much as it applies to the mind. The second step is the breath. The breath is the only function of the nervous system that you can both control consciously and that operates automatically. This makes it the bridge between the rational mind and the primal body. Every ancient tradition understood this. The Stoics, the monks, the warriors, the philosophers all used breath as the gateway to inner mastery. When the breath is fast and shallow, the body believes it is in danger. When the breath is slow and deep, the body believes it is safe. You can lie to your nervous system with your breath. You can override panic with conscious inhalation. You can dissolve anger with extended exhalation. You can pull yourself out of the survival state with nothing more than 5 deliberate, slow breaths. This is not mysticism. This is biology meeting philosophy. The Stoics did not need to know the science. They observed the result. A man who controls his breath controls the climate of his body. A man who controls the climate of his body controls the clarity of his mind. The third step is the deliberate use of silence. Your nervous system cannot regulate itself in noise. It needs space. It needs absence. It needs the kind of stillness that the modern world systematically destroys. Every notification spikes your stress response. Every fast video raises your baseline arousal. Every argument online tightens your chest. Every minute of mindless scrolling fragments your attention into 100 shallow alerts. You think you are relaxing when you sit on the couch and consume entertainment for 2 hours, but your nervous system is still working. It is still processing. It is still firing. You are not resting. You are quietly draining yourself while believing the opposite. The Stoics understood that real rest requires real silence. Marcus Aurelius retreated into his own mind even in the middle of an empire. Seneca walked in nature without distraction. Epictetus believed that solitude was the natural climate of the philosopher. You must reintroduce silence into your day. Not just absence of sound, but absence of input. No phone. No music. No talking. No screens. Even 10 minutes of true silence per day will begin to recalibrate the nervous system. 20 minutes will start to dissolve patterns that have been locked in your body for years. 30 minutes, practiced daily, will rebuild the inner stillness that the modern world has stolen from you. The fourth step is the deliberate exposure to controlled discomfort. This is one of the most powerful and least understood Stoic teachings. The nervous system gets stronger only when it is challenged in a structured way. If you never face any discomfort, your tolerance for stress shrinks until even small problems feel unbearable. But if you regularly choose small, contained moments of physical discomfort, you train the nervous system to remain calm under pressure. A cold shower is the simplest example. You step into freezing water, your body screams, your breath tries to become panicked, your heart rate accelerates, every instinct begs you to escape. And in that moment, you do something that 99% of modern men have never done. You stay, you breathe slowly, you allow the discomfort, you refuse to react. You teach the body that intensity does not mean danger. This single practice, repeated daily, rewires the entire nervous system. After weeks of cold exposure, you begin to notice something remarkable. Stressful situations no longer hijack you the way they used to. A difficult conversation does not raise your heart rate. An unexpected problem does not collapse your composure. A surprising event does not pull you out of yourself. You have widened your window of tolerance. You have built a body that does not panic. The Stoics used different forms of voluntary hardship for the same purpose. Hunger, heat, cold, silence, fatigue, long walks, plain food, simple clothing. They knew that strength is not built in comfort, but in repeated exposure to controlled difficulty. The fifth step is slow movement. The modern world moves too fast for the human body. You eat fast, you walk fast, you scroll fast, you speak fast, you react fast, you consume fast. The nervous system absorbs all of this acceleration and learns to operate at a permanent high speed. The Stoics moved slowly. They spoke slowly. They ate slowly. They observed before acting. This was not because they were lazy or weak. It was because they understood that the inner rhythm of a man should not be dictated by external chaos. A man who moves slowly with intention demonstrates that he is not controlled by the urgency of the world. He chooses his own pace. He sets his own internal speed. He is not running from anything. Try this for one day. Walk slower than usual. Eat slower than usual. Speak slower than usual. Pause before responding to anything. You will be shocked at how much resistance you feel. The mind will scream that you are wasting time. The body will fight the lower tempo. This resistance is the proof that you have been living in a state of constant nervous activation. Slow movement is medicine for a fast world. The sixth step is the elimination of unnecessary reaction. Every reaction you give to the world costs your nervous system energy. When someone insults you and you react with anger, your body releases stress hormones that take hours to clear. When someone disrespects you and you defend yourself emotionally, your inner physiology pays the price for days. When a small inconvenience pulls you into frustration, your nervous system records that response and becomes more easily triggered next time. The Stoics did not teach suppression, they taught the art of non-reaction. Epictetus said it perfectly: between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies your freedom. The man who can pause before reacting is the man who governs his own nervous system. The man who reacts immediately is the man whose nervous system governs him. Train yourself to pause. When something happens, breathe once before responding. When someone provokes you, breathe twice before responding. When you feel emotion rising, breathe 3 times before deciding what to do. This pause is not weakness. This pause is the moment in which a Stoic king is born. The pause separates the man who is owned by the world from the man who owns himself. The seventh step is the cultivation of internal stillness through philosophical reflection. The nervous system responds powerfully to meaning. When you have no philosophical foundation, every small event feels like a threat. Every uncertainty becomes catastrophic. Every setback becomes personal. Without a deeper structure of meaning, the body interprets life as constant chaos. But when you have a philosophical framework, the nervous system relaxes. The world stops feeling like an assault. Difficulty becomes part of the design. Discomfort becomes part of the path. Loss becomes part of the natural order. Marcus Aurelius wrote constantly to remind himself that everything is impermanent, that obstacles are training, that other men cannot truly harm the inner citadel of a wise man. These were not motivational quotes. These were nervous system regulators. He was using philosophy as biological medicine. You can do the same. Read philosophy daily. Reflect on the temporary nature of all things. Remind yourself that most threats are illusions. Remember that the world is not against you, it is simply happening. Each of these reflections sends a signal to your nervous system that the danger is not as severe as it feels. Over time, your baseline activation drops, your body learns to rest, your mind clears, your reactions slow, your decisions sharpen. You become what every great Stoic became. A man who is hard to disturb. A man who is hard to provoke. A man who is hard to break. A man whose inner climate does not depend on the external weather. This is what mastery of the nervous system gives you. Not a numbed life. Not a cold life. Not an emotionless life. But a life of profound internal stillness from which all great action becomes possible. A life in which you respond rather than react, lead rather than chase, choose rather than obey. A life in which your body finally trusts that you are the one in command. Most modern men will never experience this. They will live and die in a state of permanent low-grade panic, never realizing that their physiology was hijacked, never realizing that their inner suffering was not a personality trait, but a trained pattern. But you are not most men. You are reading the words of the philosophers. You are choosing the inner path. You are stepping into the long tradition of those who refused to be ruled by their own bodies. Awareness, breath, silence, voluntary discomfort, slow movement, the pause before reaction, philosophical reflection. These 7 Stoic principles, applied daily, will transform the way your nervous system operates. They will rebuild the inner stillness that the modern world has destroyed. They will turn your body from a frightened animal into a disciplined soldier. This is the great forgotten work of the modern man, not productivity, not optimization, not endless improvement, but the slow, deliberate, philosophical restoration of inner calm, because without calm, no other strength can rise. A man who controls his nervous system controls the door to every other form of mastery. He becomes immune to manipulation. He becomes immune to provocation. He becomes immune to the small daily storms that destroy most people. He becomes a quiet mountain in a loud world. This is the Stoic way. Not the absence of feeling, but the mastery of physiology. Not the suppression of emotion, but the regulation of the body that gives birth to emotion. Not detachment from life, but the deep, ancient rootedness that allows you to face life without being shaken by it. If you are tired of feeling exhausted in your own skin, if you are tired of carrying invisible tension everywhere you go, if you are ready to reclaim the inner stillness that modern life has stolen from you, then this is your moment. Subscribe to The Ancient Mind. Leave the word stillness in the comments if you are taking command of your nervous system starting today. Master your body, master your mind, master your life. Stay stoic.